Hey there YouTubers, so in this video we're going to replace the Intel stock cooler with this Arctic 12 passive cooler. And there weren't any directions included in the box, so hopefully I will do this correctly. There's always the possibility that we might make a mistake, right? But should be pretty simple. So we'll take this thing out of here. And clean this off. Pause for a moment while I do that. So our replacement CPU cooler does have thermal paste on it, so you'll want to be careful with that while you handle it. And it's the first time I bought one of these, so now the directions, not the best in the world, I'll say. Nor does it look like this is going to be easy to do. Trying to install these things somewhat blind, I would say. Now, from what I saw, it said to put these rings around the holes. Whether these are some kind of dampener or a spacer is anybody's guess. And of course, trying to take the tape off is this is going to take a while. Okay, there's one piece. So from what I saw, you're supposed to put this down, then the spring, which just seemed crazy. There were some aspects of this I liked, but I think it would have been better if it somehow had a backing plate and the screws went through that into this guy, and those I guess you could have springs in it, but somehow the screws would stay attached to it and allow you to line this thing up. This is not going to be easy, I don't think, but we'll see. Maybe it's a two-person job. Maybe it is just a one-person job. Alright, so there's that part. So somehow these guys realistically, it's probably going to be easier to do one of these at a time. Wow, that actually looks like it's going to stay. Go figure. We shall see. So this next step really is going to be, it's going to be tough to do, since you can't see what you're lining this up with. I need to go find Phillips, so I'll be back. Alright, so I think this is where the struggle is going to be. Yeah, this is all lined up nice. Thing is, if you could bring this down and you knew for a fact it was going to line up good, it wouldn't be so bad, right? But I can't see anything at this angle. So I'm going to cheat, I think. We're going to try and do this. This is probably not the recommended way to do it, but alright, so we have RAM in here. Not going to be able to see it with that. That's like blocking me. And every time you move stuff around, folks, you're going to smear your thermal paste all over the place. So I've got contact with one screw in there. 2. Potentially a third one. Oh. And then if we can just get this fourth one in, I can flip it back over. So I don't know if that was, directions don't tell you how to do what I just did. But if you can't see what you're doing, you're never going to line these up, right? So I want to make sure that these are all in. Now we can tighten this down. So I was trying to get some power readings on this so we could say without a doubt how much power the stock cooler uses. And it was bouncing all over the place. Originally it looked like it was going to be this whole system, I'll call it, right? Because we have a CPU, we had a fan, we had RAM, and we have an SSD, and we have the motherboard. Don't believe this motherboard has any lights on it. And it used anywhere from 37 watts to 52. It was bouncing all over the place. So really not able to get a specific number for y'all on how many watts this system would use at the plug. Just something I always wanted to know. So this Arctic cooler, folks, $17 off Amazon. Who would want to use something like this? Well, somebody that needs a super quiet ass computer, right? But you've still got to have decent airflow over top of this thing. So if you have it in a case, it might not work so great. Now this is I want to say this was the Pentium G6405 or 6400, one of those. But I probably should have looked at it right when I first opened up the video. So the thing was dirty coming in. So there it is, folks. It's in there. Let's go plug this thing in. So this is kind of going to be on a test bench, test box, whatever you want to call it. We're going to use this little gizmo to power it up. We have the power off and the power supply. 24 pin power connector there. And for this is actually a Z490M motherboard, which is, obviously more than this thing needs. Alright, we don't have a graphics card. I'm not going to plug anything else in right now. And we're going to turn this on so it's got power. So the power supply plugged into this. You see right now we're using 0 watts. When I flick this switch, it should change to 1 watt or more. Looks like slight surge. Okay, 1 watt. And the one negative about this, folks, is without a CPU cooler on here, you really don't know if it's running, right? Now we will when we look at this. So let's go ahead, power it up. The fan came on the power supply, shot up to 56, 51. Now this should drop down at some point to less than 37 watts. Assuming that the CPU cooler uses, it's got to use a couple watts at least, right? Alright, so here we go. 38, 37. Maybe it doesn't even use half a watt. 1 watt. Okay, so 35. That's 2 watts less than it ever was before. I don't know if we could say that, but potentially the Intel stock cooler that was on here used 2 watts less than we currently have. Now, one of the cool things is, and it's so noisy in here, I can't really use use this guy. This read in at 52 decibels. We have a lot of other computers on, so it's kind of kind of noisy in here. You obviously need a better location, but 52 decibels, and I would assume, folks, we will get down to you know, we'll say 49. So I'm going to stop talking. All right, so it was 52 decibels. Why did I know that? Because I was screwing around with it and I figured it would do that. Now this guy has dropped down to 25, 27. I never got that low before. Oh gosh. So like I said, we had 37, 38, 39, 42, bounced around up to 40, 42, 52, and now we're seeing really low numbers. 27 watts. And this thing is obviously running, right? So I have this set up so that it boots past Windows automatically. So it's just sitting in Windows right now. And that's what it is doing. But that's pretty good, folks. You know, so who would want something like this? Well, obviously, you want a super quiet system. You got that with this, right? You want low power. Well, you've got even less power now, right? Because of this. Now, whether it's really 10 watts less, 11 watts, 12 watts less, you know, more testing have to be done by me to verify that. But offhand, the fact that I'm seeing numbers that are 12 watts lower than the lowest before is pretty good. So other people that might want to use this, if you're doing GPU mining, this might save you a little money, right? Or will it? How long, if you're running a computer 24/7 for a whole year, would you save if you were using 10 watts less, right? So probably easy enough calculation. Unfortunately, I can't do that in my head. But, you know, is it worth it? How long will it take? What's the ROI on this thing here? You know, obviously, you're not going to use this with an i9 12900K. Not only that, it's not compatible, but so i9 i9 10900K, 11900K, which this would be compatible with. Not a wise choice either, right? TDP is too high. You could use throttle stop or basically, you know, disable turbo boost and get yourself down there where you might be able to use it. But this is really meant for those less powerful CPUs. So a Celeron, a Pentium, certain i3s out there. Maybe not the i3 9350KF, but a i3 10100 probably is good for it. I don't know about the i3 10320. That thing got a little bit warmer. But yeah, this isn't bad, folks. I like that. So I'll let you know how it goes. Like I said, we're using less power, and that's a good thing. Thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.